Okay. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Brother Troy Williams, 720253. I'm currently at Washington State Penitentiary. In today's topic, I want to talk about a IWOC Muslim's reentry. What does that exactly look like for a member of IWOC and a Muslim re-entering back into a society where things have changed? One of the things is the way that a Muslim carries himself is super very important, because character means a lot, and also humbleness. One of the things that comes to my mind that really sticks out is that in the Quran it tells a Muslim to hold on to the cord of Allah. The cord of Allah is the Quran, where you put Allah first, you read the Quran, and you're perfected on His heart. Your heart activates your feet, your hands, amongst a whole bunch of other things. We also know as a Muslim that going into a society where it's not an Islamic country, some people are for you and some people are against you just by nature. And that's not a bad thing. Situations are not to be looked at as bad, because on Fridays, a Muslim's purpose is to attend Jummah. You know, one of the things that a Muslim believes that is we were put here to worship Allah and to help the poor people. And it's not necessarily poor people. Just help anybody genuinely that needs help. You know, it doesn't cost a thing to be kind. But it's not how you start the race, it's how you finish it, which is very important. Housing is important. A job is important, amongst a whole bunch of different other things. While being incarcerated and coming into Islam wholeheartedly with an open mind, a Muslim looks at things very different. They think very different, and they speak very different. One of the things the Prophet Muhammad tells us is aimlessly talking, basically talking for nothing, talking when talking doesn't need to be. We know that the tongue is one of the most worstest organs on our body, because the tongue professes what's on the mind and what you really think and how you perceive something. We also know that everyone can read the same book, but they have a different lens on how they see things. And people agree to disagree. As a Muslim myself, one of the things that's concerning for me is, at one point in time, I knew a lot of people. Allegedly, at one point in time. Well, when you know people remember you how you once was. That's the impression that you left on them, whether good or whether bad. But when you're re-entering back into society with a new purpose, with a new character, and just new 360 degrees, you may run into people from your past tense that knew you before you found a greater and better path in your life. And that's what they remember you by. And so you're new to them, but they might question your new personality or just your new character. And so that right there can be some form of pressure to a certain extent. But as I stated, one of the great things for a Muslim is to hold on to the cord of Allah, which is the Quran. Perfect it, study it, read it, and Allah will most definitely guide us as He has guided us through this time of incarceration. Without Allah, I can't tell anyone where I would be at today. One of the things that attracted me to Islam was being able to know that the deeds that I did that caused me to come to prison, I can do some different deeds. I can be in a different race to when I get to the finish line, that I won't be darkened by my bad. I'll be a light. And that's something that was beautiful to me and what got me on a different path. Now that I'm an IWOC member, and the IWOC has helped me see a different form of life, and a different way of thinking to understand in some form or from this aspect of how society works to a little bit. And then just me having my way of life in Islam, because I don't consider Islam as a religion. Islam is a way of life. A Muslim is someone that submits their will to Allah. Islam is peace. I come in humble peace. And with that, as being a black man in America, I understand that we are faced with different adversities, and that's no excuse. That's far too many times we use excuses, and I don't want to have no excuses, because I just think that the path that we walk on is just our path of life, and we are able to withstand different things. You know what I'm saying? Just as humans. And so I just think that a Muslim's reentry is very important, because we're re-entering to a society that is acceptable and maybe a society that's unacceptable. The basis of where we live, where we go to Jumu'ah at, the basis of who we interact with, relationships, is very important. It's very important. It's very important all the way around the circle. And so I think that if we hold on to what the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has given us as an example, I think that a Muslim's reentry will be good. Now, that's not to say that there's not going to be hard times. There's not to say that there's not going to be good times, but it's going to be a balance. An individual should have all four corners corrected: spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically. Those are some things that are super, super important. I want to thank people for this time of listening. I know the day out there is busy. Today is the third day of 2026. And as I say to all the brothers and sisters out there, hold firm to the cord of Allah, which is the Quran. And remember, a Muslim's reentry back into society, what does that look like? I've shed some light on some things, but continue to hold on to the cord of Allah and continue to treat the people good, and tell someone today of something good. May peace be upon everyone.